What is going on, my dudes? Tash again, back again with another Genshin Impact video, and today we are going to be talking about the other character that is being released as a rerun alongside Nilou, and that is going to be Albedo. Now, Albedo's been out for a pretty long while, and honestly, I find him quite boring, to be quite honest. But at the same time, he does have his uses, especially as an off-field DPS, but we're going to get into that in just a moment. But let's go ahead and first talk about Albedo's talents. Now, as you can see here, I went with the 3-6-6, and there's definitely nothing wrong with a 3-6-6 combo. There's plenty of ways that you could build him, but I think that 3-6-6 is perfectly fine. You don't even need to do his normal attack because honestly, it is pointless for him. But I went ahead and did 6 and 6. Mainly, you want to focus on his skill because that's going to be the main thing that you use when it comes to an off-field DPS. Alongside, you could do his burst. Now, for his skill, let's go ahead and talk about that. He creates a solar isotoma using alchemy, which deals AoE geo damage on appearance. It has the following properties. When opponents within the solar isotoma field take damage, the solar isotoma will generate transient blossoms, which deal AoE geo damage. Damage dealt scales off of Albedo's defense, so you want to make sure that you're raising his defense as high as possible. Transient blossoms can only be generated once every 2 seconds. When a character is located at the locus of the solar isotoma will accumulate geo power to form a crystallized platform and lifts the character up of a certain height. Only one crystallized platform can exist at a time. Solar isotoma is considered a geo construct. Only one solar isotoma created by Albedo himself can exist at one time. So basically, he has an elevator. Now, granted, you could use this elevator to dodge all damage from medium to small enemies. Like large enemies, they're not going to care. But you can still dodge a lot of damage by using that while also dealing AoE geo damage. But of course, you're not really wanting to stay up in the air without doing some sort of damage. So I think that really the only benefit that you're getting from this is actually the constant geo application and damage. Now for his burst, under Albedo's command, geo crystals surge and burst forth, dealing AoE damage or geo damage in front of him. If the solar isotoma created by Albedo himself is on the field, 7 fatal blossoms will also generate the solar isotoma field, bursting violently into bloom and dealing AoE geo damage. Tectonic tide damage and fatal blossom damage will not generate transient blossoms. Now, there's also a thing where where is it? Here we go. So using the rite of progeniture, Tectonic Tide increases the elemental mastery of nearby party members by 125 for 10 seconds. So the reason why this is important is that he could be run on elemental mastery teams. I haven't tried it, so I'm not going to recommend it, but I am going to say that it is possible for him to be used alongside characters like Tighnari. Nilou could be a great example. I know that Nahida is going to be scaling on elemental mastery, so it's quite possible that you could run him on that team and be perfectly fine as an off-field DPS. Now, let's go ahead and talk about artifacts here, because as you can see, I am running a very weird set. I do not recommend the set anymore because of the fact that we do have Husk of Opulent Dreams. This was the go-to set back in the day, before Husk of Opulent Dreams came out, and I highly recommend that you're using 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams. This set, Archaic Petra 2-piece and Noblesse 2-piece, is not a bad set for him to have, but it's definitely not as good as it used to be. It's actually, I think, his 3rd best set, if I'm not mistaken, with his 2nd best set being 2-piece Husk, 2-piece Archaic. So Noblesse has kind of fallen off for him a little bit. For his weapon, you want the Cinnabar Spindle because this weapon was incredibly built just for him. Elemental skill damage is increased by 80% of defense. The effect will be triggered no more than once every 1.5 seconds and will be cleared 0.1 seconds after the elemental skill deals damage. This was built for him. This is his best weapon. You could also use Harbinger of Dawn, which used to be his best weapon in slot, and that was the 3-star. You could also run Primordial Jade Cutter and Miss Splitter's Reforge, and even Freedom Sworn. He's got a lot of different tech, but honestly, this option being not only the best weapon in his arsenal and the best free-to-play, definitely would suggest using this over anything else. Now, as you can see, for the team that we're running an all-Geo team because I have used this team before and it has shown amazing results. Granted, I'm not saying that this is his best team, but this is to kind of showcase exactly what Albedo can do. Now, Albedo is mainly an off-field DPS in my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people would actually agree with that. So our main DPS is going to be Arataki Itto, followed by Goro being the support and Zhongli with shield support. Now, the reason why I don't want to run a healer on this is because honestly, you could switch a healer out for Zhongli, but Zhongli's shield's going to do all the work for you. So let's go ahead. We're going to do this. So first things first, we're going to switch to Zhongli, get the shield going. We're going to activate Goro's burst right here, activate the elevator, and then start getting to work with Itto. Now, as you can see, Itto's going to be doing all that damage, and we got our burst back for Albedo. Boom. We do all that. We get that going again, and then followed by Itto just wrecking everything. That was way too perfect. That's actually my best run when it comes to this domain. And that's just to showcase what a Geo team can do. Now, again, factor in that Albedo's set that he has right now is not even his best set. If you boost up his defense even more, he's going to do wonders. Now, we didn't actually talk about the artifacts for Albedo, so I'm going to showcase that as well. We talked only about what sets they were. So obviously for Albedo, your main focus is going to be crit rate, crit damage, and defense percentage. Now I say evenly between those three only because he scales off of defense, but crit rate and crit damage is going to be very, very important. As you can see, my spread is a 50 to 100. You always want to go 1 for 2 for as best as you can, but this was one of the times where it was perfected for me. Now, as you can see, we got a lot of crit rate, crit damage. Crit damage on this one with Elemental Mastery. We went with the defense Sans because again, he scales off of defense. I could have done a little bit better with the set, but honestly, I need to rework him to have that 4-piece husk because I really want to see what he could do with a 4-piece husk. Now, for the goblet, a lot of times people, like we talked about in the Nilou video, you want to go like triple HP for Nilou. Now, you could go triple defense for Albedo, but I don't think that that's entirely necessary. The goblet I think is perfect to have geo damage. You don't want to do a defense percentage only because of the fact that you want to at least give him a little bit of a geo damage bonus. And then for the circlet, you could do crit rate, crit damage, or defense percentage. I highly recommend either crit rate or crit damage for this and get a good, like, there's obviously, as you can see right here, we have a piece that has double defense, which is perfect in my personal opinion. Now, you could also go for stats like, you know, energy recharge that work really, really well. Even attack percentage could work very well, but honestly, I think your main focuses are going to be defense percentage, crit rate, crit damage, and energy recharge. Attack percentage, yes, can work very, very well and will boost them up a little bit, but I think being able to actually get off that burst is way more important. Now, as you can see for my energy recharge, though, it's very abysmal. So when I rework these things for Albedo, best believe Albedo will probably hit like a truck. And I honestly, again, like I said, I really want to test him on a Elemental Mastery team since he does during the, I think that's the first Ascension bonus, gives that 125 Elemental Mastery. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think that Albedo is actually worth the investment? I believe that he's gotten better over time. He's one of those ones that it took him a little bit, but now he's a lot better. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Take care and be safe.